Okay, sir, let's start the workshop.
Right. Okay, let's start. I think like all are here, right? Most of them are here. So let's start story. So then gradually people can come. So let me go back. I'll have a recap. So this, so we complete the context part, most important part. Here we discuss about the strategy part, organization, need and expectation, and then we did some case studies on scope and then process mapping, most important part. So after we complete the process map, actually we skip the leadership, planning, support part, we actually skip. And then we straight away when it came to the operational part. Right, why we came to the operational part? Mainly because like, we all your the process mapping should cover these requirement: operation planning and control, requirement of product and service, customer communication, review of the requirement of the product service, control of externally provided process, the production and service provision, identification, post delivery, control of changes, release of product, and non-conformity part, communication, and all like, and then we cover research and development, R&D, development, design development part. So only the organization who has that, you can go for it. Other than that, like, you can actually get an exclusion, giving the justification. So that up to that part we complete. So now again, leadership. So again in this area, we are going up to planning. So planning has 4 elements: do as operational, checking and act part, right? So let's go to the planning, element number 5. Right. Now, this is the leadership, most important part, right? Because leadership carried any organization, like the accountability. Uh, Earlier, like this accountability word is pretty much available only for like, safety part. So if you're having a safety, like, the power plant, like we have a member from power plant, like, safety is a critical, especially like, during the construction. You have heavy equipment, heavy engineering activities going on. So you have to make sure like, safety. And then again, when you run the power plant, there are so many high risk activities you have to do: the heat, the sound, and then like the fire part. All there are like heavy safety activities. So there should be like, when you do a modification, when you do a changes, right? There should be an authorized person, accountable person. If something goes wrong, that person should take the accountability. Accountability mean like, sometimes he might lose the job. But now when they revise the standard, they revise the standard like, bring accountability into quality management system. So like no matter what, if something goes wrong, most senior person in the organization is accountable. That is there, right? So let's see what accountability has to say, right? So the leadership part. So leadership and the management basically said, top management shall demonstrate leadership and commitment with respect to the quality management system by, right, taking accountability for the effectiveness of the quality management system, ensuring that the quality policy and quality objective. So first thing, like say, for example, if there's a customer complaint related to quality management system in Halcyon, so the most senior person in the organization should be accountable. I mean, like, there will be a responsible for the relevant project manager or project executive. But then again, accountability. Like, why he's accountable? Because if I mean, like, the accountability is like, because most senior person is supposed to set the system. So if he's failed the system, he's accountable. So if you can remember, there was an incident in somewhere in Horana. There was a 5 people died due to ammonia, like, it's a discharge water, ammonia water leakage. There are 5 people died. I think like 2 from factory and other 3 from surrounding area. So when they want to inquire and then take into the legal action, the factory manager is already there, but the owner is also there. Why? Because I don't think owner will be there for the factory, like during the operation, but he is accountable for setting the system, setting the facility, giving the infrastructure. So in term, because of the accountability part, owners also like, part of the process, right? So accountability is very key area, ensuring that the quality policy, quality objectives are established, and then for quality management systems are compatible with the context and strategic direction of the organization, and then ensuring integration of the quality management system, requirement of the through the organization business process, promoting a use of process approach and risk-based thinking, ensuring that the resource need for quality management. This is very important. See, top management, they basically need to provide whatever the resources required for the organization. So that is part of leadership commitment. So if you want to audit the organization responsibility, the accountability, you can check the capex. Like you can check what are the number of capex mean like funding they raise for the project. And I think like when you do the context analysis, like you identify few like negative point as from the university system. Actually, like we don't have proper resources, so that is somebody is taking the accountability, right? So this is one area, right? And then customer focus, right? This is very important. Top management shall demonstrate leadership and commitment with respect to the customer, focusing by ensuring that customers are applicable, statutory regulatory requirements are determined, understood, and consistently. The risks and opportunities that can affect conformity of the product, service, and ability to enhance customer satisfaction are determined and addressed. The focus on enhancing customer satisfaction maintained. See, now this particular program, you all are my customers. Like it's a part of the Peradini University, and like Halcyon, like all of you are part of the customer. So what we try to do is like together, while we are doing the online training program, we think of like having a more proper communication mechanism, right? And then we had few discussion whether to use Teams, whether to use Zoom, right? And then whether we can use the chat. So there are like we identify different mechanisms. This is not a physical, like we don't meet each other. So if I try to just talk, and maybe you're not getting the same satisfaction level, maybe you might have a question. So if I try to like answer another program, maybe that portion like I might not give the answer. So there should be open dialogue. So that's why like we develop. So each and every organization, they identify their customer need, right? Then try to like cater at their best with the service part, right? So this is one particular area. Then now I'm actually going to change the mood, right? I'm actually going to change the mood. See, now this is the quality policy. I just want to see whether now you have been like observing me, you have been working with me for element number 4, element number 8, and then part of element number 5. I want you to read this. I hope this is very visible. Somebody said he's in the waiting room. Ashini. Okay. Right. So like, I want you 4, 8, and then part of number 5. So I want you to read this, right? Like, because now you are going through the implementer program. I want you to read this and develop quality policy for your organization. Maybe your university, maybe your home, maybe your whatever the organization, like power plant, packing plant, manufacturing, milk, whatever. Develop your own quality policy, but quality policy should be in line with the ISO 9000 2015 requirement. This is 52 requirement. So it should be in line with this. So now I'm not going to explain this because this is the implementer program. So after this program, like you should be able to go and implement this at your organization, right? Or maybe help them to improve their current system. And then same time, so to this is the one skill you need to develop. You should be able to read the standard, right? And then extract the information and then convert it into your organization context. Yeah. So is it clear? My question is clear. I'm not going to explain this, the quality policy. You need to read this and then you need to develop quality policy for your own organization, maybe for your university, maybe for your university department, right? Or maybe for like, I'm like, if you don't have anything, you can develop one for your home. Yeah. Is it clear? Team, is it clear?
So do we want to like write a policy? It means
Yeah.
food safety
I
and
want you
quality
to,
policy.
I want you to write a quality policy, but it should cover the standard requirement. I want you to read this and write a policy.
Okay.
You got it?
We got it.
Team,
Yeah.
all got it? All right. So there's one push. Ashina, like said she can't get in. She's in the lobby. She's in. Somebody said message. Okay, guys, you have 5 minutes. So now 112, 117. Let's start this. Is Ashina already in or like she said I can't join in the meeting. I'm in the waiting room. Shan, why are you keeping people in the waiting room? Now okay. She is in. Right, great. Normally Shahan doesn't keep people in the waiting room. Shahan, I think like some of the participants
Yes.
are in the lobby. Can you give the presenter permission to the team, Ovini and all, so they also can take people in?
I think all of them have the presenter permission.
All of them have, right?
Yeah, the team has.
Ovini, you can take people in. Is Pushpika there, Shahan? But Pushpika can help you, right? Right, team. So you have 1 minute. So I need to see some policies. Let's see. Can I get some policies? So it should be in line with like, if your organization goes with like, without ISO certification, you can develop your own policy without anything. But when you go for ISO certification, there's a requirement. I just want to see whether you are capable of reading the standard requirement and whether you are capable of like, converting that into your organization material. This is one good skill, right? So when you become an implementer, you need to have this skill. Team, can I get one or two feedbacks about the policy? Now time is up. I give 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm starting to get some policies. Let's see. Okay, Chatura has said a quality policy. Say quality policy in coconut industry commitment to promote the development of coconut related products in the coconut manufacturing industry to ensure that the programs and services are carried out in the transport and accurate confirmed with ISO 9015 to continuous improvement quality management system and quality of service rendered by intended and internal and external resource person. The continuous improvement of quality management system and okay, Chandra, thank you very much. Can I get one more? One more feedback? Even in chat? Can I get one more feedback? Can I get one more feedback? So this is Department for the Food Science, the technology is committed to excellence in education, research, and innovation in food science to ensure food safety, quality, and sustainability. Okay, so this is your quality policy for the food science and technology, right? Okay, I'm getting one more feedback. So we have one quality policy for the coconut industry, and then we have a quality policy for food science and technology department. Okay, so that person is missing. So anybody wants to give a try? So I got feedback from Chatura and Nuwanta. Anybody else want to give a try? Nadish, what about you? Almost done?
Sir,
Yeah.
can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure, please.
Sir, when we communication of the quality policy, is it only way to document the content in
What do you
communication?
mean? What do you mean by Nuwanta?
Means it make by document as a
Okay.
policy.
All right. Okay. So I think like we got two feedback. So let me answer Nuwanta's question as well. I got another one. Let's see. Okay. So this is from Mystica Gayatri. Quality policy for pasteurization milk. Quality policy you develop for your organization, right? So just develop for your organization, not for the particular product. But let's see, strict pressurization control adherent to the required temperature and time, standard to guarantee safety and quality, continual improvement, regulatory monitoring and improving the process, maintaining consistent, enhanced efficiency, customer satisfaction, delivering fresh, safe and nutritious milk exceeding employee engagement, empowering our team, maintain and improve quality, reducing waste and enhancing pasteurization process. To ensure consistent quality meet customer requirement and improving overall business process while also ensuring food safety. Okay, Jaising has been so one thing. Okay, let me answer nuanced questions as well. So when you write a quality policy, right, it says top management shall establish and implement the maintain quality policy. So top management should establish. Then it says is appropriate to the purpose and the context of the organization and its supposed strategic direction. See, is appropriate to the purpose and the context. So now you have like given 3 quality policies, right? So coconut industry, like it said promote the development of coconut related products. So this basically covered, like when I see the policy, I know like okay, this is the company that do some coconut work, right? But I don't have much understanding about it, right? So it should cover like if it is like a particular organization who is into manufacturing of pasteurized product, so you have to mention our organization is this, we are manufacturing pasteurized coconut or milk product. So it should give an idea, otherwise like all the quality policy will look same. You know what I mean, right? So like quality policy would look same, and then provide framework for setting quality objectives. This is a kind of a tricky thing, because like your quality policy might say we want to meet the customer requirement, but and then somebody else might say we want to exceed the customer requirement. Is there any difference between these two? We want to meet the customer requirement and we want to exceed the customer requirement. Is there any difference, or is the similar thing? Is
With
it
the time,
meet the customer? Yeah.
with the time we have to exist with the customer requirement, because customer preference can change with the time.
Yeah, it's a different, right? Yeah. Shanuka, yeah, is excellent. Yeah, no, yeah, because like see, sometimes yeah, I agree with your point. Customer expectation might change, but as an organization, standard doesn't say whether to meet or exceed the customer requirement, right? So like see now this particular training program, we can do like I'll do the training. I don't care whether you listened or not. I don't want to get the feedback. So your team, Peradini team who organized the program, they also want to do the program. So that you mean by like okay, we are going to do a 9001 2015 not the implement, actually awareness program. So like whoever wants to know, you can come, and then whenever want you to leave, you can leave. Like that's it. We do the program. So that is meeting the requirement. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. So there are products, you meet the requirement. So there are products, you exceed the customer expectation, right? You exceed it. So I'm like, depend on the customer. Sometimes like, the cost you pay to become exceed, right? So organization can decide that part. So this is one area. Say, when you set quality objective, meeting the customer requirement, exceeding the customer requirement. So your customer, like, meeting the customer requirement in that particular organization, if they measure the customer satisfaction level, that will be like, they will say, okay, 50% plus. So I want my customer to be satisfied 50 plus, right? But if organization said, okay, my customer expectation is I'm going to exceed my customer expectation. They will say, okay, 85 to 90%, I need my customer, right? So that is one thing. So textile and apparel sector are committed to excellent education, innovation, design and manufacturing of high quality common product, sustainable products and skilled workforce development. Okay. So this is about industry, the sector. So don't go for the sector, develop quality policy for your organization. And say, for example, now we will say, okay, Peradeniya University, agriculture and technological unit. You say, okay, we are service provider for agriculture and technological unit. Want to make sure like excellent education for all the undergraduates. So you specify your limit. So the scope, purpose. So we are specifying Peradeniya University. This is the particular department, agriculture and technological unit, and we are serving for the undergraduates. So we are going to do an excellent program for undergraduates. And then you say, okay, then you can set objectives. We deliver program timely manner, and we deliver program as per the industry needs. We make sure all the graduates are qualified and then competent graduates. So when you analyze from the industry, so these are objective. You can check timely manner. I mean, like you identify, okay, program time will be 3 years, like you are finishing within 3 years. And then if you want to check the graduates, their quality, competency, you check from the industry. Okay, everybody, you get a good rating. If you don't get good rating, your objectives, KPIs are wrong, right? So these are the key areas which standard require. Say, for example, now, even our organization, Halcyon, we will say, okay, we are a consultancy company specializing in ISO related consultancy. And we will say, okay, as a consultancy firm, we want always to exceed our customer expectation, right? How we are going to exceed customer expectation? We'll make sure all our projects are complete on time. So customers are happy. They will say, okay, I want to get ISO 9000 within 3 months. So we will finish within 3 months, not 4 months. And all our consultants are qualified consultants. So we have to make sure like everybody has certain qualification, degree plus something, right? Relevant qualification. So these are, you can measure, these are objective. So when you set this quality policy, then, so these part, any organization can change wherever they want, right? But the moment these two words include commitment to applicable requirement can be legal, customer requirement. This should be in your policy. Include commitment to continual improvement of the quality management system, right? These two words has to be there in your policy. Is it clear now? Team, is it clear now? See, you can develop your policy the way you want just to represent your organization, but it should be, these two words has to be there. Am I clear?
Sir, according to the policy for department like food science and technology, so the continuous improvement is related to regularly update educational program, like.
Yeah, see, now we have I got your point, but issue is the moment ISO standards said include, I know, continual improvement part of it, if you want to evaluate that, you can say improvement of the education program, syllabus updation and all. But these words has to be there. You got my point, right? So
Yes, sir,
standard said include. So I mean, so you can justify saying, okay, continual improvement, my syllabus every 2 year, 3 year, I'm improving as per the industry need. That's the way of proving the improvement. But again, that word, continual improvement word, has to be there in the standard, in the policy. You got my point, right?
Yes, sir, I got it.
Right. Okay. So I believe all the others. So these two words has to be there. Then there's another thing called 522, communicate in the quality policy. The quality policy shall be available and maintained as documented information. So the moment you said documented information, it should be documented as per the document control. And then be communicated, understood, and apply within the organization. Now, Nuanta has a concern. Nuanta asks, is documentation is the only way of communication? No. You can communicate in a different way. You can communicate verbally. You can, when you start up the meeting, you can start with the quality policy. You can virtually, you can communicate through the emails. So all things are aspect okay, right? So you can use different organization. They use different mechanism, right? But you need to have a documented quality policy signed by the most senior person in the organization. You got my point, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this quality policy now as an implementer program, say relevant to interested parties as appropriate. If some interested party asks for your quality policy, you should be able to provide that. So now as an implementer, now you know how to read the standard and how to derive. So you have to be very careful about the wording. If standard said shall, that information has to be there. Standard said documented, document information has to be there. So one thing you can do is when you go through the standard, you just check what are the shall document, what are the documented information. So what we do is when we get a new recruit in our organization, so what we do is first thing we give them a standard and ask them to identify what are the required documents under each and every clause. So you will get a kind of a good understanding about it, right? So that's one area. Right, now let's move on. So you did the case study as well. Now, these are straightforward. Organization roles and responsibility.
So I have a question. May
Yeah.
may
Please.
I say that like syllable query policy? So to understand, is there any like communication with the ISO 9001? If I
Sure, please.
repeat, is okay. So in there it says the syllable group is committed to provide highest quality food product, mainly coconut based, to our customers and consumers by consistently meeting or exceeding our customer expectations in product quality and performance, and timely delivery of highest quality products to meet our customer requirements with ever changing standards, continuous improvement of our process and systems through innovations while upholding regulatory requirements, ensuring our workforce is well trained and competent to deliver our stringent quality standards, accomplish quality objectives by implementing and maintaining a documented effective quality management system which complies with the requirement of BRC, FSCC 22000 and ISO 22000.
Yes.
So is it covered the all things, sir?
Nadish, like, it's your silver mill quality policy actually is defined based on ISO 22000. FSAC doesn't have a separate clause for quality. They use the ISO 22000 requirement as well as the BRC requirement. So those are two different requirements. I think I have enough time, right?
So there basically we want to highlight on the satisfaction of the requirements and the continual improvement of the system.
Yeah. Yeah. See, let me try to take this to standard. I'm just a little bit diversifying, so I'll stop sharing and then I'll try to. Hope you can see this, right? I'm just moving out from the presentation.
Yes, you can see that.
All right, so this is ISO 9000. So my entire presentation is based on this, right? So this the standard requirement. So let me go to 5.2 policy. Right, say this part. Standard set, same thing, right? So this keywords include under 9000, they said I hope you can see this, right? Include commitment to satisfy applicable requirement, include commitment to continual improvement of the quality management system, right? CD, hope you can see this CD part. Can you see my like the
Yes, sir.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So this word has to be there in your policy if you go for ISO 9000 certification. Right now, your organization Silver will actually go for 22 FSSC and BRC. So basically, like I'm not going to touch the BRC part. It will complicate most because like there are people from other industries. But I'll touch upon this part. Right? See this 22 standards say so. Let's same number, right? 5.2. 22 is about food safety, right? So we have friends from Yucatanavi and all like, so they are into different, right? So it says this part. So when you go for 22, there are include this word include commitment to satisfy applicable requirement for the food safety, including statutory and regulatory requirements and mutually agreed customer requirement related to food safety, right? So then this one, include commitment to continual improvement of the food safety management system, right? So these two words has to be there. So 9,000, it's talk about meeting the applicable requirement and continual improvement of the quality management system. But in your case, continual improvement of the food safety management system, it says commitment to satisfy applicable food safety requirement, including statutory and regulatory requirement and mutually agreed customer requirement related to food safety. It's different. I just hope you got this
Yeah.
now.
Yes, yes.
So depend on
the scope. It means the
Standard.
standard. Yeah. So we have to define the policy.
Yes, you have to define the policy. Now, BRC, if you go to BRC food, I think now version is changing, right? BRC food?
Yes, it's version 9.
Version 9, they are coming up, right? So BRC is fast, it's changing a lot. Early it was 8. So now again we have to cover this requirement. So that's why standard is mandatory, wherever standard. So now since Silver Mill is not practicing, you are practicing 9,000, but you are not certified. So then you don't need to adhere to this requirement. But moment if you want to apply and get the ISO 9001 under your scope, then of course you might need to change your policy, including these two requirements. Navant, you got my point, right?
Yes, sir. Got the point. Thank you.
Right. I think this communication, so I got another quality policy, operation excellent. Okay. Okay, we have a power plant, a quality policy, operation excellent, ensuring efficiency and understanding the power generation through process optimization, safety and risk management, implement the safety protocol, employees, equipment and environment, continuous improvement, regulatory updating, technology, training staff, enhancing procedure, better performance, customer satisfaction, meeting customer expectation by providing consistent and high quality electricity supply, environmental responsibility, minimizing emission, managing water and promoting sustainable practice. So Sanjeevan, I think you can include these two words again. Continual improvement, include commitment, this word is important. Commitment to satisfy, right? Continual improvement and then applicable requirement. So you can you can keep the same policy, but you can improve using these two words. I believe this dialogue I'm having with you all will help even others to improve their quality management system. Is it okay? Nadish, you are good, right? Sanjeevana, you also okay, right? For the policy? Right. So let's move into the other area. Now, once we develop the policy, so we study the roles and responsibilities, responsibility part, and then process delivering. So he basically said ensuring the responsibility authority relevant roles and assigning, communicate and understood within the organization. Top management shall assign responsibility and authority for ensuring the quality management system conform to the requirement of the international standard, ensuring that the processes are delivered their intended output, reporting on performance of the quality management system and on opportunities for improvement in particular top management, ensuring promote and customer focus throughout the organization, ensuring that the integrity of the quality management system is maintained when changes to the quality management system are planned and implemented. So JD, right? JD, basically we call JD, Santa said, okay, communicate and understood within the organization. If somebody asks, what is your JD? You can't say, I don't know. I'm like, if your organization is certified. Because like Standard said, you understood and communicate, right? So organization should sign off the JD. So if you are getting ISO 9000, that, and then one more thing, see, main easiest way of developing a JD is, once you identify your process maps and then process map has a link, your authority level, approvals, responsibility, accountability is there. So better to include everything into your JD, right? So then when people follow the JD, they automatically follow the process map. I hope you got my point. Because some organization, when you go, you can see there's a big difference. You have a separate process, responsibility is given, but when you check the JD's job description, actually it's not compatible. I hope you got my point. Yeah. Is it? You are clear? Yep. Right.
So talking about JD, so if the quality inspector or some sort of job description, so if the description is added, means if we have more duties in the previous, he doesn't have that type of task, but now he's adding on that particular task. So we want
Yes.
to go for a revision of the JD.
Yes. 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 You had to do that. You had to do that.
Yeah.
So that will basically give a very clarity, like, this is your JD, and then there will be additional responsibilities which you are going to do. And then it is in line with the process map. Right. Now
Okay, got it.
we are coming to the planning. So still we don't, this is very important part, because still we don't know what to do with our context analysis, need and expectation, risk factors, what we understand, right? So those things we don't know, right? So now only we are going to address that. But I'm going to combine this, right? So when planning a quality management system, the organization shall consider the issues referred in risk and opportunities that need to be addressed. So given assurance that the quality management system can achieve its intended results, enhance desirable effect, prevent or reduce undesired effect, achieve improvement. So the organization shall plan action to address risks and opportunities. Action to address risk can include avoiding risk, taking risk in order to pursue the opportunity, eliminate the risk source, changing the likelihood or consequence, sharing the risk or retaining risk by informed decision. Opportunity can lead to adaptation of new practice, launching a new product, opening new markets, addressing new customers, building partnerships, using new technologies, and other described and valuable possibilities added to the organization is customer needs. Right now, we are going to do a small case study. Can you remember in your context analysis, when you need an expectation part, you identify some risk, right? You identify some risk, like say, for example, let me go to the top. So a lot of things we discussed, right? Okay. So I take one FMCG company under positive factor, having a strong cluster for collecting raw materials and trust on supply with long-term relationship. So that's a positive thing. So now you want to improve this, opportunity enhancement, right? So you can develop action plan, meeting all the customers, and then agreed customer with the minimum order quantity. So this particular year I'm going to take 100 tons, and then every quarter I'm going to take 25 tons. So that's how I'm making. So customer can forecast. So these informations are very important, right? And then maybe if there's some suppliers are there, they need some help on setting the ISO standard. You might say, okay, I have an internal resource, I'll help you on that. So you develop project plan, you communicate with the QA team, go and help this particular customer, right? So you develop kind of action plan, but keeping some target. I need to make sure my suppliers are really I have green 50% suppliers, right? They do on time, full quantity with cost. But I have another 25 amber color suppliers. They are on time level is there's not 50%, less than 50, 50%, and their quality is not that good. and then their cost factor is also not that good. So maybe you help this supplier to improve. Like, you can say, okay, we have in-house QA capacity. So you develop suppliers. So then end of the program, you say, okay, I have suppliers, but within this 50%, I'm going to increase into 70% of my suppliers, green color, trustworthy supplier. So, you can actually develop action plan into converting your supply 50% of green good supply into 75 within end of this year. That's action plan you develop. So you work with the procurement team, you work with the QA, maybe sales team, maybe finance team. So you have a team and they're working on a target. So monthly when you have a review, you can review the progress, right? So this is very important. So action plan and say now I'm taking the FMCG company, right? Uh, like you know uh, so you say like certified for BRC, GS, FSSC, and social compliance meta. So you might say, okay, BRC is a British Retail Consortium. That's a specialized standard under GFSI, Global Food Safety Initiatives. So they have food, they have non-food packaging, consumer product, cold storage. So there are different products, but I think we are talking about the BRC food. So they might say, okay, we have
So
BRC
nowadays, brand reputation through global compliance, so that has been changed in the version 9.
version 9, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll say like this particular BRC standard, you have A rating. I don't know what is the rating you have. This is your one, right, Nadir?
Sorry?
This is I'm referring to FMCG company is your one, right? The context analysis.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So BRC, what is the rating you have right now?
We have a AA plus.
So I don't. There's no improvement, right?
Sorry?
There's no improvement. Huh?
Improvement
So
means
no, you have
we,
AA plus. You have
yeah.
AA plus. We'll say you have BRC, just BRC certificate, without
So
any A rating.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So then you can develop action plan. Right. So how to get A plus or AA plus. Right. Not like ISO. I don't want to confuse others. ISO, you don't get rating, but BRC, you have a rating system, right? So this they can develop action plan. So then there are some negative factors uh, like say for example, fluctuation of raw material prices. So then the maybe finance and procurement team and the forecasting, the marketing team, they can develop and they can say, okay, look, the raw material prices are going down in this particular season, April to May. So, and then next year forecast is this amount, and we have a capacity of this. So then they can actually purchase, but they are actually taking a risk, right? Why? There are a lot of money will be stuck on the purchasing material. So they develop action plan, right? So develop one energy source, no alternative product on the production floor. So maybe they can develop alternative product. So you develop some sort of action plan. I took one example, right? So from the context, so you can do the same thing for the you need an expectation of interested parties, or you can do the same thing for you identify one particular process. You say I'm getting more customer complaint, more rejects from my QA process. So that's a high risk process. So then you develop action plan, how I'm going to minimize these risk factors. Yeah. So you try to develop you maybe train your QA team. You identify the defect classification. So this is an action point. So you might take team minutes. 2 weeks, 3 weeks development of defect classification, and then he's responsible of QA manager, and then train your online QA team. So these are the kind of action plan you can develop, right? So this is all three as activities. You can develop action plan for context, risk, opportunity, right? Risk minimizing action plan, opportunity enhancement action plan. So you can develop action plan for need and expectation, and then you can develop action plan even if you identify the risk factors in your process. You can develop action plan, right? Team, is this clear? Team, is this clear?
Yes, sir. So can we do an action plan? Means can we Can we have like case study or some sort of thing to improve on an action plan? Example.
All right, you want an example, right? Okay, give me 1 minute. But right now, like, can you start to develop action plan? I'll show you the example. So try to develop some action plan, whatever the activities you identify, like, risk activity, opportunities and all. I'll try to show you the action plan, right? Others, what about others? Are you clear? Teams, others, are you clear? What about others? Team, are you clear? Okay, thank you. So you try to develop action plan. I'll show some example that I had to check from our organization.
So basically, action plan on the risk, identifying the risk and the opportunities, right? So
yeah, you can, yes.
So basically, in there we have observed that doing with the paper means paper works. So go for the automation in automation process, so we can reduce the paperwork and improve the carbon footprint.
That's action plan.